This is something I've been wanting to do for so long. I'm going to do that thing now. And that's I'm making a clamp rack. Well, whoop-de-doo for you. What's so special about mine? I like things a little bit different. And I reckon the best thing for a clamp rack is...
the clamps!
I'm going to make a clamp rack that is...
Clamps!
from Futurama.
You're a freaking genius, you idiot!
I've been hanging on to this offcut of an LVL for a while, and I reckon this is going to make a good head. Going to have his head and I reckon just some arms holding a bar with his clamps, and then that bar will be my clamp rack, but clamps. So the first thing I did was roughly draw the face on that timber. Once I then had that down, I divided up the design into equal parts. So I had a grid across the timber, and then went about redrawing that face with everything evenly set apart and where I felt it needed to be so it looked consistent. So I was conscious to get the mouth, the chin, his scar, those eyes. Another consideration is the side. As that angle comes in on the sides of his face, it also comes forward, so he has, almost like a chin. And then really there's no nice way to put it, but I just hacked into it. I didn't worry about finer details, I just wanted to start getting some shape. So with the circular saw, cut the angle in the top of his head, cut into where his teeth will go, and then absolutely went to town hacking into the back of it, just to remove as much material as possible. So now, with a chisel and a handsaw and a bit of elbow grease, I can hack into it and start getting that shape a bit better. I've got to get this a little bit sharper. I've got to get his top of his head a bit rounder. Probably taken too much meat off the back. It's probably a bit too thin here. I'm going to do his eyes. Then it'll be time to hit it with the sander and try and get this better. I don't know. I think it looks kind of cool. I'm actually pretty happy with it so far.
Whoa, calm down.
So getting some 4x2 scraps, they will actually be perfect to make Clampazzo's clamps that will hold my clamps. So a quick job on the bandsaw to get those the right size and shape. Then I smothered him with the cheapest possible filler, just to try and get his nice face a bit smooth. Checking out the sides of his mouth, because a little bit of his teeth show on the sides. Still need to remove more material for where his eyes go. Lots of work there. So it's first coat of black paint for the eyes and his scar, and then on to the much more difficult job of trying to find the right colour for clamps. I tried all manner of greens and greeny browns and olives and all sorts of things. It was just a process I had to keep working on until I was comfortable that I had the right colours. There was plenty of filler, sanding and shaping. It's starting to really come together. Now that colour paint that you're looking at there is Dulux Green Olive, which did his head and his clamps. Then I was using Dulux Ecology Green for his arms and his neck and the trim pieces on Clampazzo's clamps. Start to bring a bit of yellow in those teeth. Now I found this trim piece that was the perfect shape to make the grips in his clamps. So I painted the whole stick before I ran it through the bandsaw and cut it up into lots of little bits. The best way I worked out to mount his head was I had this steel hook that would fit nicely into the back of his head that I'd be able to sort of hide. There's no science to this, but just drilling and hoping for the best. Keep drilling until I get it right. Now I've got it exactly where I want it, and I can do a test fit to see how he looks and if I'm headed on the right track. That looks so good! So now it's time to cut the, let's call them the fingers or the jagged grips on Clampazzo's clamps. Have a bit of a test. Yeah, looks pretty good, doesn't it? Cool. So now let's just cut the lot of them. So a little bit of sandpaper and just clean up all the edges on those. Bit of glue, couple of brad nails. Things are starting to get really serious now. I ordered a few different things online that I thought would work for the eyes. Now this is make or break. If I can't get the eyes right, none of it will look right. So I cut these polystyrene balls in half, essentially taking the back off them, and then just took more and more material away until they sat right. Digging around an old box of old paints, and I found this beauty, which ended up, I think, being a great colour for his teeth. And then touch up all the paint on the head. I'd been working off this picture of Clamps, but now I wasn't happy with how his eyes looked. I then found this picture of Clamps, where he's got those evil, menacing eyelids? They're not eyebrows. I think they're eyelids. I'd already come this far, so why not try and make his eyes as cool as those? So then with some scrap cardboard, I tried a number of different shapes that would look right, but also fit right. As soon as I was happy and confident with what I had, I ordered in some black thick cardboard and then made a set of eyelids that I was really happy with. This is a big moment, lots of stress, time to hot glue his face in, and I need everything to stay exactly where I want it. And you know what? I am so happy with this.
Whoa.
This already looks so much better than I ever hoped. Yeah, look, obviously there are a lot of imperfections,
Right?
but I don't care. The head is now officially finished. The colour is better than I'd hoped. The shape is better than I'd hoped. The eyes, the eyelids, which I never expected to do. I am very happy. But there's still a lot of work to do before I can call this a success. Oh, that looks so good. So again, because I'm in lockdown, I'm just having to try and use whatever I've got. I've got these small steel pipes that will work as the arms. Earlier, I painted some black plastic pipe. It's almost like a small diameter vacuum hose. That's the best thing I've got, I think, that will work visually for the arms and neck. Now you'll see also that Clamps kind of has, let's call them wrists, these round sections. So a bit of scrap chipboard, cut them out on the bandsaw, sand down the edges to get that round over, and they're pretty much ready to go now. Now I've been hanging on to this. This is what Francis will be holding in his clamps that will hold my clamps. We're definitely on the home straight now. And then, here's one I prepared earlier. I got these brackets, that painted them, and then I'm just using some chipboard screws. In the back, I've got these little doovers. No idea where they came off, but so that will go there. And then the wrist. So it just provides that little bit of space needed so it'll hold on to the wrist and the arm while still having some angle in the hands. Sounds good in theory. So then some quick epoxy to keep those arms together and strong. They look great, but we'll let them dry. Now they need to be mounted to the wall. Both arms are on different angles to give the right look. A block of scrap timber with a hole drilled in it will then be attached to the walls, which the poles that are the arms will then be epoxied into. That sounded like gibberish coming out. Then once both arms are set, it's go time. The only thing left to do now is put it all together, mount it, and hope that it works. I've got his head where I want it, but there was a fair bit of mucking around to get both arms where I need them to be visually, but then also where I need them to be so they can properly hold that steel bar and be somewhat of a useful clamp rack.
Gee, you think?
I'm also securing one end to the wall because I can. I've been playing around with that weight testing a lot. Yeah. He's holding all of those up there. Not a worry in the world. And I think that looks pretty cool. There you have it. Clamps, Francis. I did it. If you want an easy clamp rack that's going to hold all types of clamps, that's going to save space in your workshop, this is not it. You want a cool clamp rack? Yeah, boy. I hope you've had fun. because I've had fun.
Gee, you think?
It's cool. It's so cool. Thanks for watching. My name's Ryan from Odd Sawdust Makers. If you want to see... I don't know what you want to see, and I don't know what I can provide you, but if you liked it, like it, subscribe. Shh. Rude. What do the YouTubers say? You know, like, subscribe, text, sign up to my OnlyFans, all that sort of stuff. So, yeah. Thanks for watching.